We have all of your national forecast details right now as we monitor a system across Atlantic Canada departing today but bringing widespread rain to the Maritimes, some snow for Newfoundland, and then another system making its way across the Great Lakes, bringing messy, wintry mixes across parts of Atlantic Canada to end the weekend. Meanwhile, on the west, dry conditions to start off your weekend across the Prairie provinces in Alberta. Beautiful conditions to head outside, considering the temperatures are also quite warm for this time of year. I'll dive more into that in a second, but when we take a look at BC, you can see the persistent rain. We're watching for an atmospheric river starting this weekend, continuing till at least middle of the week. You can see through the south, it's an AR3 on our scale out of 5. So persistent rounds of rain with multiple rounds. You can see starting today, the first round, another heavy round tomorrow. Then you get a little bit of a clearing pattern on Tuesday, but that's when we'll likely see the end of the atmospheric river. You can see upwards of 100 millimeters possible for parts of the lower mainland as well as the central west coast. So umbrellas handy, rain gear, that could also be handy for the next couple of days. But when we take a look at your temperatures, you can really see warmth dominating. Even across Alberta, we're inching towards those double digits. In fact, by the middle of the week, Calgary could even hit 11 degrees. So we'll continue to monitor the warmth. But even for prairie standards, you can see warm conditions above the freezing mark for most of the week across Saskatoon and parts of the week for Winnipeg. Meanwhile, when we take a look at the east, you can see the warmth still there. Toronto, YYZ got upwards of 15 degrees yesterday. Well, we're going to slowly rebound right back down to that seasonal range by the end of the week. Our nation's capital will likely feel more like what's minus 19 by the end of the work week. Now you can enjoy the warmth, but we have a couple of messy systems to monitor on the east. The first one, as I mentioned, departing Atlantic Canada. We'll likely see the rain leaving the Maritimes through the afternoon, bringing with it rain to the Avalon and snow to northern portions of Newfoundland. But it's the next low that we're watching. It's going to bring widespread snow across the Nickel Belt down towards the Muskokas, then towards Ottawa, Montreal, Quebec, and through Saguenay to start off your day on Sunday. This will then bring in another low, which is going to bring in some rainfall, but that could also be some mixing of some freezing rain possible for those across the Maritimes and some more mixing possible for those across Newfoundland. So when we're talking about mixing, we're talking about freezing rain. So make sure that you drive according to the weather conditions. The roads could get slippery with upwards of 15 centimeters for those across the Muskokas, for those across Lake Ontario or the shores of Lake Ontario, just under 5 centimeters or under 2 centimeters of snow possible, likely to fall in wet flakes just because of how warm it is right now, melting on contact. Meanwhile, for those across the Maritimes, you can see upwards of 20 to 30 millimeters possible. The Avalon, 30 millimeters of rain is possible, but on the back end, we watch for the snow. Now, the snow is not just going to be heavy at times. We'll also watch those winds with snow gusts of over 100 kilometers an hour, which could reduce visibility on your Tuesday. So this messy system bringing some impacts for you today, tomorrow, and even continuing for Monday morning across Atlantic Canada. The good news is, as at least those warm conditions are likely to linger for the next couple of days, you can see Halifax inching towards the double digits by the end of the work week.